everyone, how are you doing today? In today's video, we're going to be looking at my 2022 business slash personal bullet journal. So this is my very functional, very straightforward, business oriented and goals oriented bullet journal, and is, for the first time in my life, a bullet journal that is not going to try to be aesthetic and pretty and beautiful, but is going to be functional and something I can actually use to improve my business and hit all those goals that I need to hit next year. I actually won this journal in a giveaway with Reflect with Raksha. I will leave a link to her video below. She actually just uploaded her 2022 Plan With Me video and it's fantastic. I kind of wish that I'd seen it before I started this one because there are some spreads in there that I really wish I'd included. But I have got another bullet journal that I will be setting up, which is all about mental health and recording memories and tracking my moods, and that one's going to be way more like themed and pretty. So if you're more looking for a journal that's going to be more that kind of thing, like self-care, reflection, memory, then keep an eye out for that. But I would definitely recommend Raksha for doing functional, easy to follow bullet journal things. But the journal itself is from Paper24. They are a Netherlands-based company. Currently, I don't think they sell in the UK itself. They've not got any UK dispatchers, but I know that they are actively looking and they're really, really lovely. This one is the Inkpot, the Inkwell one. I think it's got really beautiful, this silver design on it. The linen on it isn't too rough, but it also isn't too shiny, so it doesn't like cling to grime and dust, and cat fur doesn't just stick to it like it does on my Archer and Olive journal. So I really like that. It's A5 dotted, has really nice little like holder, has a substantial pen loop that can actually hold a pen and a pencil, which is bonus points for me. And I also like that the pen loop isn't just glued in or sewn in, it's actually like properly studded in, which you don't get on a lot of journals, so that's a really cool extra feature. You get 2 ribbons, which again is ideal for keeping track of like different parts of the book. They've got lots of different ones, like there's one that I've got my eye on at the minute that'll flash up on screen, and that one is like dark emerald green and it's got a compass on it, and I'm just like, oh, I really want that one. And yeah, so the pages are 160 GSM and they are like pure white, so you are getting a really good and really clear background to work on. So if you are looking to do more of an artistic style, then it definitely provides for that. So that is the journal itself, and the opening page begins by saying this journal belongs to, and then it has a little quote saying, and so the adventure begins, which I think is so beautiful, and that's what drew me to request this one in the giveaway, was this little quote, because I was just like, you know what, I love that little extra bit of attention. And then it's got like a little link on here, so it's asking you to follow them on Instagram, which I have done. And yeah, you can see I've started off with like, this journal belongs to Kirsty, which is me. And honestly, I think that's the best my handwriting has ever come out using one of my pens. And I've stopped trying to use the brush pens to do my writing with. I've started using a Sakura Pigma Architect pen, so it's got a square chisel nib instead of a brush nib, and ever since I'm finding it way easier to do my calligraphy. So like I said, with this journal, there's 3 colours in this journal, and that is black, grey, and this kind of antique, dusty rose colour. Starting up, a little reminder to myself that I'll be doing all of my stats and all of my updates at the end of each month. Start with my index, which I have not yet filled in. And the pages, they are numbered, which is fantastic because a lot of journals don't come pre-numbered and it can be really frustrating. First spread, this was one that I copied from Temi Danzo last year at the end of 2020. I did this one for my main bullet journal and I really liked it, so I've kept it this year, and I've not filled it in yet because a lot of these are going to be very personal to me and I kind of just don't want to share those just yet. So I've just left it blank for now just to show you the layout of how I do my goals. We then have my future log. You can see I've just pre-written out all of the months so I can keep track of all the days. And then there's some bits that I've got in here already. So I'm part of a writing group, and our fearless leader, who is incredible, has sent us up until June everything that we're going to be doing. So I've already added those in. And yeah, you can see I've also got space down at the bottom for... I originally wrote 2022 before realising, no, I'm setting up 2022. So basically all these little spaces at the bottom are just for me to add in things that are coming up in those 3 months in 2023. We then have an event calendar. So for this one, being a small business and being a craft business, I will be going to a lot of events. And it's basically when I see one that I know I want to go to, I will jot it down. In May, we've got MCOM in Nottingham, which is a local sort of anime gaming convention to me. And then in July, there's YALC, which is the Young Adult Literature Convention, which takes place in London. And they're different events and I'll be promoting different products there, but essentially, you know, they are both events that I really want to go to. That's my little event overview, which I will be prioritising in the next week to get this filled in. Then I'm going to have a bit of a quarterly overview. So every quarter I'm going to look at which of my candles which 5 are my top sellers and how many I sold. Then who are my bottom sellers, and again how many I sold, or if it's 0, how many I didn't sell. Then I'm going to have a little just how many YouTube subs I've added or lost or whatever. And then TES, which is a teaching resource website where I've uploaded a few of my teaching resources from when I was teaching, and I do make a little bit of money off that every month, so I'm just going to track that quarterly. And then just a little note on things that I want to improve on the next quarter, so I've done that for all through the year. We've then got... I've broken this down into like Etsy and business and then YouTube and social media. So for Etsy, I've got a yearly overview, so I can see how many views I'm getting, how many then actual visits, how many orders, what the revenue is and the conversion rate. And I've made a little note to myself that a good conversion rate is around 2%. Then I've got my product launch calendar. Just for those of you that are watching this video, you're going to get a super sneak peek of the first quarter. So January, I'm looking at Genshin Impact, so I'll be launching around my birthday, which is the 13th. I'll be launching a Genshin Impact set. February, because it is Chinese New Year and Fruits Basket is all based around the Chinese zodiac, I'm going to be doing, and also Valentine's Day, and Fruits Basket's very romantic. I'm gonna do a Fruits Basket. And then in March, I've done my first set for My Hero Academia, and I really quite quickly want to get another set and just sort of increase how many I'm doing of those. So I'll be launching the second part of my Hero collection around Wear a Hat Day, because a lot of them wear hats being superheroes and masks, so that's going to link in with that. I've then got a list of stockists, so basically who I get things from. So again, I've not quite filled this in yet because I'm still working everything out. But for example, the candle tins, which I've got one right here that I can show you. So you've got these candle tins that are 100 mils, so 4 fluid ounces. I get these from a company called Cozy Owl, and I get them in bulks of 50 because so far they've worked out to be the cheapest that I can find. So I will just put 100 ml tins, Cozy Owl, just so I know where I get that stock from. Then we've got my more of a personal one for me. So these are my personal bills, like my mortgage and my phone bill and my credit cards, things like that. Also, I'll include like my Disney Plus and Netflix subscriptions, and then just keep a little checklist of every month, have I paid them? And then this is kind of, I've got a much more in-depth spreadsheet for this and filing system, but just for at a glimpse, so I know where I'm at every month. got a yearly invoice, so we'll have all the money that's come in, then subtract my supply costs, my shipping costs, any fees that I've paid for anything, and then I can work out how much profit I've actually made that month. And then I need to cover those. I should have covered those. I have a bunch of giveaways and holiday sales offers that I want to keep track of. So for giveaways, I've just got a start and end date, the products that will be in the giveaway, and then terms and conditions. And then we've got holiday sales. So the first one will be in January. I'll just give you a sneak preview of this. So the 24th to the 26th of January is Burns Night in Scotland, so it only makes sense that the Outlander candles are on offer, and they'll be on offer for 25% off, so make a note. And so yeah, you've got dates, the holiday, what products, the offer, and then I'm going to keep track of how many sales were actually made using that offer. And then discount coupons, again, it'll be like the dates, what products are discounted, what is the discount, and what is the code. And again, number of sales made. We then have a returns and refunds, so it's always good practice to keep in mind feedback, and that's good and bad. So this will just help me to kind of keep an idea of, well, if I've got, say, 3 of the same product that's being either returned or I'm getting people wanting refunds or negative feedback, then it's just good for me to keep an idea of like what's going wrong. Like, do I need to update my packaging? Do I need to play around with the smells and come up with a different scent combination? Or do I need to like figure out a different wick or something like that just to improve on my quality? And then I've got a section here just for reviews. Not quite enough for 2 a month, but you know, I'm trying to keep this for like reviews that actually give me something that I can then work on. So I've got 2 sets of social media trackers. So I've got my general ones for my KBeth Bookish accounts. Got like my YouTube, I'll keep track of how many subs I've got. Instagram, Twitter with my really terrible Twitter icon, don't judge me. And then I have decided I will finally bite the bullet and I will join TikTok. So I will also set up TikTok. And again, this is one that I got from Temi Danzo, so I'll link her videos below if you want to have a look and see what other spreads she's done that you might be interested in. And then we've got my character sense specific ones. So I've got my Facebook page, my Instagram, how many people are favoriting on Etsy, and then views and visits. And then I've got 3 double page spreads on business plans. So anytime I think of something to either improve, or if I think of a Skillshare course that I want to do, or any sort of course that I want to go on, I can just make a note of it here. Any sort of product ideas. Yes, I'm aware I spelt business wrong on this page, but I have spelt it correctly on all of the other ones. I just couldn't be bothered to change it because, like I said, this journal isn't about perfection. This journal is about function, and it doesn't really change the function of my business if I spell the word business wrong. So this is all just going to be like my brainstorming, and I've hopefully given myself enough for the whole year. Otherwise I might have to start gluing pages in. And then we come to January. So again, I'm keeping it very simple. This is where I've introduced pink, so you know, a new colour. And I've taken the quote from the beginning of the notebook, and so the adventure begins. And I've googled January. I think the exact terms I googled was January interesting font, and I just found this font, really liked it and copied it, although I wish I'd moved it slightly this way so I had more space, but hey, you live and learn. Just got a month at a glance calendar that I've not even finished yet. Then I have what I call a running to-do list. I also now have transferred everything onto spreadsheets, which has been actually a lot easier for me to keep up with. But I still will keep this as a little spreadsheet. I might remove it in February, I don't know. But if I show you in this journal that I'm using currently, so rather than have a day-to-day to-do list, I've just got a running list. So as I think of something I need to do, I write it down in the relevant section. And then eventually I've just got this big long list, and then I cross it out. I colour in the box, cross it out when I've done it. I just find it a lot easier to just work through that than I do trying to think of a day-to-day, because I might think of something on a day and then I've got to go back and find the day that I said I was going to do it and then didn't. Whereas with this running one, I just can see at a glance, right, okay, that one's not coloured in, so I still haven't done that. I don't really have that pressure of now trying to find what day I wrote it. But yeah, so I've got my like running list, and that's what I plan to do with this, is just have a running to-do list that I just add on to as and when I need. Then this is now moving on to the actual like social media stuff. So I've got my content planning, so posts that I want to do and any updates that I need to make or any announcements. I've then got my YouTube stats, so I'll be keeping track of my subs, but then I really want to keep a more in-depth look, and I've got like views, watch time, subs, impressions, average view duration, returning viewers, not subbed, impressions click through, then like search terms that I'm coming up in, traffic source, things like that, and then just a little comment that made me smile. So just to remind myself of the positives, because I get bogged down on negatives. I then have a video planning tracker, and I got the idea for this layout. I cannot remember off the top of my head the name, but I will link her below because she did a business setup video for bullet journaling, and I've taken a lot of her ideas for mine, and this was one. So for my video uploads, you got the name of the video that I need to do, and then I've got a little checklist, so plan, film, edit, thumbnail, upload, just so I can keep track of where I'm at with all of those. I then got, for the videos that I need to do, these will be my ideas. So if I'm doing, say, a recommendations list, I can just write the books down here. So when I'm filming, I've got this in front of me as a reference. Then we move back on to more of the business stuff again. So with Etsy, I've gone into more detail here. So you can see at the start of the book, I've got this here where I've got views, visits, orders, etc. Now this is the more monthly in-depth, so I can actually see what search terms and things are, so I can improve on my SEO and my actual sales output. And then this is a tracker of my online orders, because in-person orders I keep in this journal, which every event I go to, I write a list of the candles that are on offer, and then I just that's how I keep track of my in-person stock and my in-person candles. So my online sales, I will just keep it in here. We then have, similar to the YouTube videos, I then have my candle planning, so I've got which character I'm doing, how many I'm going to make or how many I did of them, and then planned, made, labelled, packaged, photos for promotion, then my Etsy listing, and then a promotion or like a post to say, hey, new stock. Then I've got my restocks that I need, and originally I just did one page for the spreads that I've been using this year, and I realised very quickly that I definitely need more, because my oils run out way quicker than my other things. So I've now got a separate spread for restocks for the oil, and then other things, so my tins, wicks, candle dyes, things like that. And then at the end of every month, I just want to do a little bit of a reflection, so I will have a little review, one thing to celebrate. So for November, I did celebrate that I made 10 sales on Etsy, and it was my first 10 sales because I've only been up and running a couple of months, and until that point I'd only really sold in person. So, you know, I celebrated that I made my first 10 online sales. Then little things like what was working, what has worked, what hasn't worked, and then things that I need to do more of and things to do less of. And then obviously we'll go into February. That is my 2022 overview. Let me know in the comments if you are setting up your own business as well, or if you have a business that's been going well for you. Do you bullet journal? What spreads do you use? Are there any bits of advice that you could give someone like me who's very new to this? Any advice is very welcome. Please let me know in the comments or reach out via email. I've always got my email in the description. And if you haven't already by the start of this video, then now it's the end of the video. Head over to Paper24 and check out their supplies and their stock, and give them a like over on Instagram because they do some really lovely stuff. Thank you again to Raksha. I love this journal and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to try out a new brand, and it turns out it's a brand that I think I'm going to be using quite a lot in the future. So thank you very much. So that is all from me for this video. If you enjoyed this, then give it a like. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more content from me, and press the little bell so you never miss any updates. And without any more blathering, I hope you're good, I hope you're staying safe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.